The closest to music news I've got, right, is the fact that it's happening.
Who do you think will win?
I don't care, but have you seen like the Formula One thing I read, which was it's quite funny because it's weird because I agree with him, right, but it is also hilarious. But Lewis Hamilton has come out and said that the FIA needs to immediately look at the rules of Formula One to ensure that we don't go into a extended period of Red Bull dominance.
It's quite funny.
That's pretty funny coming from Lewis Hamilton.
It's
isn't it?
rich. It's definitely
pretty
rich.
funny. It's pretty funny.
It's a good starting thing for us to talk about on our F1 podcast, which is basically what this is.
No, it's not. Well, are we?
Yeah, we're going.
Oh, okay,
I
yeah.
slipped in.
Oh, okay. Well,
fine.
in that case, I want to formally announce that I'm going to make a conscious effort not to talk about Formula One ever again.
Ever again?
Well, not ever again, because I'm not going to restrict my own speech.
What if we got like Daniel Ricciardo on the podcast?
Then we'll talk about his appearance on your mama's house.
Your mama's house?
I don't know what it's called. What's
Your
it
mum's
called?
house.
Your mum's house.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
No, but yeah. It was a bit too F1 heavy last week. I don't know where it came from. I don't know how it happened.
We keep doing it.
We need to stop.
I don't know though.
Well, no.
Here's the problem: there's no music happening, and then there was F1 happening. There's no F1 to talk about.
We'll find other stuff.
I was going to say though. Did you see the F1 royal wedding that's happened?
What?
I might get this wrong. Becky told me because I don't care at all. Becky told me that Lance Stroll. Wait, is it Lance Stroll's sister? Lance Stroll's sister is getting married to someone.
I've already lost interest.
Yeah, same.
There's someone.
It's really boring. I think it's someone who's like a Red Bull stunt person. He does
What do you mean?
I've got it wrong already because I forgot. I
He
didn't
does
really
Max
listen to Becky.
Verstappen stunt driving.
Yeah. Whenever they go around fast corners,
Whenever
They trade
there's
him out.
a dangerous overtake.
yeah,
Like the Lewis Hamilton Max Verstappen crash at Silverstone.
wasn't him.
Stunt doubles.
Yeah.
Explains a lot.
And then they switched, and then Max Verstappen did the wave, which was a weird move. He could have just there's a helmet on. No, it's Lance Stroll married, or getting married. Lance Stroll's sister's getting married to someone Red Bull. And then their best friends is Daniel Ricciardo or something. And people have said, the whole point of this was people have said, it's like the royal wedding of F1. And I'm like, it's not. because these are lots of people I don't care about. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but which is not too unsimilar to the royal weddings.
That's true. Oh, that's a good point. That's a great point. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care about them.
Rover title.
No.
No?
It's not.
It's not rover title time.
It could be. Do you want it to be?
I feel like it is normally.
What if I cut you and then you say roll the title?
Okay, this is kind of broken the illusion, but rover title.
Here's the podcast. I again almost hit the wrong button, so I might have to think about what I do here because I've got.
You have to bite the bullet and buy like a little
switchboard.
deck.
I'll forget what the buttons do on that as well. What I've done is plus is my intro button, and minus is my outro button.
Which you'd think would be fine.
I know, but the problem is the minus is on the left, and for some reason my brain always goes to hit minus, but it doesn't. Anyway, how are you?
Swap them.
How was your week?
Regular, fine. Nothing really happened.
Weekly rib update.
Better.
They're getting there.
But they're getting there.
I've not had painkillers for a few days, and I've exclusively had painkillers solidly for about 2 or 3 weeks, however long it's been.
I was going to say because we did go and see Charlton.
Oh, that was good, wasn't it? Wasn't that fun?
Last Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Last game of the season. And it seemed like you hurt your ribs.
Well, no, what happened was we were at Charlton. Oh, do you know what's funny about this? We were at Charlton and we went to... So for people that don't know, because I realise we've got more of our viewers are international than not.
So Charlton Athletic,
Charlton Athletic,
London-based Tier 3 football team.
Yeah, Tier 3 football team. So, and if you've seen Welcome to Wrexham or any of that hype, imagine Wrexham are trying to get into the Football League, and that is League 2, League 1, Championship, Premiership. Did I do that right? Yeah. All of them mean first until you get to League 2, which is League 4. It's a weird thing. We like it.
And then the National League, which you could, if you don't know football, being like, that's the main league because it's like the National League.
Yes, or a group of racists, which I don't know. Is
no,
that
because it's not the Nationals.
National Front. Wait, are they the good ones?
BNP. That's the baddies.
UKIP.
I don't think they're no.
The royal
UKIP are like mild.
Oh
BNP.
yeah, they are, and then BNP are the extreme.
BNP are like
What's the one with the bin?
That's just the bin man.
Oh yeah. Well, I got a binhead or something.
Binhead? No, there's a knight. Sir Binhead. Sir Bin.
I
don't know.
Anyway, so Charlton.
Also, we're trying to explain to like foreigners, right? The football divisions, and now we're talking about like the weirdest part of our political system.
Here's the thing, right? If someone's just tuned in, they're like, "Oh yeah, I'll give this podcast a go," and that is the first few minutes.
They're gone.
Yeah,
they're gone.
We appreciate it. Thanks for trying us out. See you next time. I'm going to try and sell merch in a minute.
Anyway, go on to the story.
Right, Charlton. So Charlton, lower league. They had their last game of the season. What do you mean? Why are you wrapping it up?
Well,
we're
don't
back
want
on.
To, re-explain everything.
That's fine. We went.
Yeah, go.
Fucking hell, you're such a knob. Right, so we went to an away game at Cheltenham, which is cool because they play in front of 7,000 people.
7 people.
7 people. They play in a very small crowd, whereas Charlton used to play against Man United, Liverpool, all of that. So we went to the away game, final game of the season. But because it was so small, it was like this weird thing where, like, when someone's taking a corner, for example, they are like 15 feet away from you.
You could touch them.
Yeah, so all of the... And again, for American fans... We don't go, we want to win, right? We shout abuse at the athletes. And they know it as well.
I feel bad for the linesman's nose.
Oh, yeah, well, he made some bad calls, though.
Yeah, but it was directed at his nose.
Yeah, well, it was in the way.
Like, he makes a mistake, and then it's like, your big nose!
Yeah, he looked like he was going to show us into a place at Gringotts or something. Yeah, no, so people would take corners, and we're right there. And because we were quite late, and they didn't have allocated seating for some reason... We had to sit on the first row. So we're like pitch level. So when Charlton scored and the players ran over, everyone got up and ran to the thing and was going mental. Cut to footage of that, which exists. I can cut that in, maybe. I don't know. Don't know how the legality works there. It's League One football, innit? No one's going after us. But yeah, I went mental.
I mean, Ben Foster got away with
so
a bloody GoPro in the
That's true. That is true. So yeah, we kind of had a moment of cheering, and then I was like in agony. But it's a good day though. I recommend anyone in England to just go and watch a lower league football.
Yeah, go to a lower league football ground, and then especially if you're a foreigner, because then you're really getting the British.
That's
culture.
it, isn't it?
Yeah.
I said
what it means to be British. Don't take your kids though.
You can take your kids.
It depends what age.
There'll be some language.
There will be
do
some
you
language.
swear in front of your kids? If so, you're fine.
Yeah, but it's not even just the language, right? In football,
Is it the context?
It's the context, but it's also the aggressiveness. It's not just like calling someone a. It's like calling them.
Yeah,
that in malice,
and
like,
it's not even
you
that.
Actually, want them to die.
Yeah, well, no. You want them to hurt.
Yeah.
So, for example, the linesman had a big nose.
Yeah.
You
want that linesman to go home at night and start thinking about his nose.
What I liked,
maybe it is too big, and maybe I do need surgery.
What I liked was the lad taking the corner. The best one I think that happened was he came over and he was a proper laddie lad, right? So he has the same like the fade hair. And someone just went, shit hair. And I'm like, that's great. And he actually laughed from it as well. But yeah, it's good stuff.
Great.
It reminds me of watching ice hockey as well. When you watch ice hockey in the UK, you're watching in front of like 300 people. I don't know. It's such a small number.
I imagine it's so weird for like the players because if you go to Old Trafford, right?
Mm-hmm. Sometimes do.
And you're up there in the rafters. Hurling abuse at a player, they don't hear you.
No,
they don't hear anything.
Absolute noise.
Right? But then you go to like a little lower league ground where there's like 1,000 people there. They hear everything. Yeah. Like the players, they hear every individual insult.
Yeah, it's good.
And it's great because what I've realised as well is like recently having watched like Wrexham games like in the National League, and you've got the same sort of thing happening where like the microphones placed around the ground are just picking up individuals calling someone a bloody whatever.
Yeah. It's good stuff. It's the same happened with COVID when there weren't any people in the ground, and then you could hear the players shout at each other.
I missed that so
that
much.
Was really good.
Oh my god! If you're into sports, that was like the best period, right? Because you could. It's like I don't want that to go on forever. I don't want like no fans in the arenas because I miss the fans.
Oh yeah,
you need
best
the fans in the arenas. But that was like the silver lining of COVID, was being able to hear everything that's being said on the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
Same
while
with ice
people
hockey.
keep bringing up like mic'd refs and stuff in football, and I'm like, that has to happen now, especially with all the controversy that's going on at the moment with VAR and all that sort of stuff. Like, I want to be able to hear what the players are saying. I want to hear what the refs are saying. Especially want to hear what the bloody VAR assistants are saying.
Yeah, that's the biggest part.
I'm not convinced they can actually speak. Like, I don't think they can form words in their heads sometimes.
I saw a good video. I think there's been a few good videos of the like the rugby guys.
Oh,
and they'll
so
talk through the
because you
decision.
can hear everything.
Yeah, and it's like, it gives that clarity. Whereas we've seen it before. There's been times where the refs have been right. It happened at the World Cup, I think. There was a call where the refs were technically right, but because they didn't explain what the decision was, everyone was just angry about it and went mental.
Or vice versa. There's times where the ref is wrong. Like, the ref has made a blatant mistake, right? But then you hear, like in rugby, you hear the ref talking about it, and you're like, oh, I can completely understand why he hasn't seen that. Because of what was happening or what he was looking at, or obstructions that were like in the way or whatever. And it just gives so much more context to what otherwise is, we're looking at it from the outside with all the camera angles going, what an idiot. How has he not seen that at all? When if he had a microphone, probably like most of the time, 5 seconds after it's happened, you'd be like, oh, that's fair enough.
I think the best example is the amount of times in football where like a tackle will happen, it's really bad, but it's happened like 3 or 4 seconds after the ball's been played. So it's like, well, the ref isn't looking there. The ref's looking at where the ball is.
Yeah, I mean, this is like in danger of turning into a football podcast now.
We already have.
But, because it's even worse with VAR at the moment. One of the worst things about it is there'll be a tackle, and you're like, okay, it's a bad tackle, but it wasn't like that bad. Like, you know, whatever, it's a foul. But then they like VAR check it, and they look at it in super slow motion.
Yeah.
Where like the studs are slightly raised, maybe like there's not actually contact, but there's like it brushes past like it's short or whatever. And then all of a sudden now you're looking at this still image that looks like he's about to break someone's leg. But when you look at it in full speed in the context of the game, you're just like, okay, it's a bad challenge, but it's not egregious. But then all of a sudden now the ref is just looking at this picture that looks like a Norman Bates movie or something, and it's like, oh, that's a red card.
Yeah. Everything.
Like, well, it's not a red card. Like, if you like slow everything down like that, and then you don't take into account how fast the game is and decisions that have to be made and stuff. Yeah, like it's mental. But moving on,
everyone's like, fucking talk about F1, please.
Ooh.
I listened to Metallica.
Yeah, what do you think?
Do you know what I remembered is I'm not a huge Metallica fan, but it was good. I get what you're saying. It literally felt like that era of music, Metallica, Appetite for Destruction. It felt like that, right? So they've not changed
like,
at all.
If they went back in time and released that album like 30 years ago, it would fit in place.
I don't know the construct of Metallica, like a Metallica album, right? I listen to odd songs. Odd songs have made it onto playlists of mine before, but they're not a band I'd sit down and listen to the whole album. I will say that I listened to like 4 or 5 songs that it is the same. It felt like one song, right? It was like a riff, and then I think the first 2 songs the key didn't change either, but it was just like, oh, it's just like, I don't know. It's the format is the exact same for every single song, which may be a good thing if you just really like that format. There are other bands that do that. Two Door Cinema Club, for example, if you listen to Tourist History by them, it's just like every song is basically the same song. So that would be my critique if I were to critique Metallica.
It does seem mental.
They're like, yep, okay. Like, write it down.
Like the gods of metal.
Yeah. One of the biggest bands in the world to ever exist. Rob from Reading, the Indiana Show podcast. But it was good. And then Shakira released a song.
Ooh.
That was bad.
Is there a music video?
No, and I don't think there will be.
Aww.
I think it's in Spanish.
Doesn't she release her songs in English and Spanish? I believe in multiple languages as well, though. Am I making that up?
Maybe, possibly. I don't know. I know. Yeah, you're right that like the big hits, you can find the Spanish version of them, which is smart. But this was, she said, it was like a love letter to her kids, which I was like, that's cute. And then I listened to the song. It wasn't that good. So, I think it's quite an intimate song. It's not like Whenever, Wherever, which is just a phenomenal song. So I listened to it and I was like, oh, this is exciting. New Shakira song. And then I've got nothing else to add, really, because it wasn't that great.
I've got an update. Obviously, we breaking news last week about the rumours.
I know what you're going to say.
Taylor Swift.
I know what you're going to say.
And Fernando Alonso and Matt Healy.
Matt Healy, yeah.
Is now being confirmed.
Has it been confirmed?
It's been confirmed that they've been spotted holding hands.
Okay. Yeah, they held hands.
Which, I appreciate the answer to this question is obvious, right? But who is writing these headlines and who are they for? Because I mean, that's school days.
I do remember year
that's
5.
That's like back in the days, year 5, year 4, year 6, whatever.
I saw them holding hands.
Oh my god, I held hands.
It's really
I
good.
held hands with a girl. Like, what is that news? Who's getting excited by that crap?
What I'm really curious about is, and I'm just quickly doing some Googling, but I don't think it's the case, but I'm like, are they under the same record label? Because it feels like they are. But I don't think they are.
I just don't.
Oh, sweet. I think Taylor Swift's under her own record label. I think.
Lucrative.
Which is smart. Yeah, Ed Sheeran did the same. Oh, well, no, Ed Sheeran made a record label, but I don't think he's under it.
That's weird.
Yeah. It's like Gingerbread Man Records, I think, is Ed Sheeran's record label, and he signed someone else and released their music on it.
It's like creating a new recipe for Coke and selling the crap out of it.
Yeah,
but then
Pepsi.
Oh no, I don't drink it.
Yeah.
Horrible stuff.
Yeah. Have you heard of Mountain Dew? I love it to death. Yeah, so there we go. Taylor Swift fans are in dismay over the new photo.
I've heard that. I haven't looked into it. I'm like, okay, do they like the fact they're dating? Are they upset?
People, which I guess are People magazine, but people.com, so maybe not a magazine, I don't know, say they say sources say that Taylor Swift and Matt Healy are not just platonic. This is breaking news.
What is the wording there? They're not just platonic.
It's not just platonic as well. It's in these guys. Yeah. There's no music news happening at all.
God, no, nothing.
There's nothing.
I mean, I suppose. I was going to mention, right, and again,
you can,
right. I will.
You
right?
should.
It is that time of the year again, right? And I'm going to say this, right? And apart from the obvious, I don't know, world hunger or, brutal diseases,
mm-hmm.
genital warts, right? I don't think there's anything I hate more than the Eurovision Song Contest.
Oh God, you know what? I saw that was coming up.
Again,
I saw that was coming up, and I was like, "Do we speak about this?"
I mean,
nah.
the closest to music news I've got, right, is the fact that it's happening.
Who do you think will win?
I don't care, but but have you listened to any of the entries?
No.
Oh my God, I've listened to a few, right?
Wait, no, I've listened to one, I think. Because it's different news.
They're I don't know if there's any news related to it, but I just meant like honestly, right? I've got so many points, but who the hell gives a crap
People get
about the
excited
Eurovision?
about
I don't
it.
understand
People get
it.
excited
They
about
must
it.
be missing brain cells or something.
No, no. I don't know what it is. I couldn't tell you, but I know.
I don't understand.
People do parties.
I don't even because pretty much none of the music that's getting played is my style of music, right? But even just sitting back and listening to it objectively, even if you are a style of that music, I don't understand how you can think that any of those songs are good. It's like every single song in the Eurovision Song Contest, it's like a 40-year-old executive producer type person, right? Has gone, we need a song, right? They're in charge. They're in charge of their country. We need a song. What are we going to do? We need to be hip. We need to be...
We should do one now. We should write a Eurovision
They've gone
song
to their 13-year-old, nieces, right?
Yeah.
Or their daughters, whatever, right? And they've just got them to write a song, right? And then they've also got them to choreograph the bloody dance. Every one of those dances is like... It's like, do you remember back in the days, this is 90s babies, early 2000s, right? If you had siblings, sisters or cousins or whatever.
I did.
Right? they would spend a lot of time just in their bedroom, just coming up with like choreography dances to like their favorite songs, and it was the cringiest thing ever. That's what this is. Every single one of them is crazy. It's mental. But then also the lyrics, the songs are so bizarre. It is insane. And the UK like entry is
do you know who's doing
abysmal. I can't remember her name. I can't remember her name, but it is honestly, it's abysmal. It is so bad.
Because we had Sam. Whoa, what's
Sam
his name?
Ryder?
Yeah, the long-haired
doppelganger.
chap. Yeah, I remember that story. You've told that story, haven't you, on the podcast?
I think so, maybe.
Hopefully. Yeah, I actually, it's weird with him because I said this at the time as well. He used to do TikToks where it was like him just singing, and he'd be like, "Oh, this is a belter," and he'd sing a song, and he had an amazing voice, and they were really good. His covers were amazing. When he started making his own music, it was very much a record label swept him up and was like, "Let's create these songs for you," and then he had like these videos coming out where it'd be like, "Oh, me recording the song," and it was him on FaceTime, but filming himself. But he's on FaceTime to someone, and he's like, "Yeah, I just feel like I'm up in space, man." And then he's like, "Oh, 1 sec, I gotta go. And you're like, I hate all of this fake nonsense that has to go along with like, when what has happened with that song is they've gone, "Oh, we need a song." He has this amazing vocal range, and they write it, and it feels really forced and contrived. It's not genuine. But yeah, I don't. Have you just found out who it is?
May Muller. I'm going to say May Muller.
Like a Muller
and the
corner.
Song, I think this is all you need to know the quality of the song.
Okay.
Right? The song title is called I Wrote a Song.
That's good.
I Wrote a Song. That's what it's called. It's called I Wrote a Song.
If we let's make a country. Right? We're going to call our country in Indiopia, right? He's on his phone.
No,
right,
India, I'm listening.
right.
I'm listening.
And we're in Eurovision.
Uh-huh.
Right? Let's pitch a song, right? At least a title.
We can do it.
No, we can do it. My song is called
We Can Do It.
We Can Do It. And it goes like this. We can do it if we put our mind to it. We can do it if we put our mind to it. Yeah, and it'll be like that. If you're fat, that is that. We can do it. That's a top 10.
And then you have to.
I don't know. I apologise for the accent, by the way. The generic,
I don't know why.
The generic Latvian.
I don't know.
Well, that's what it is, isn't it? And we'll get. Even though he may be more interested in representing Sweden, I think he's from, but we'll get Adam from Royal Republic. Definitely, he's in a full sequin suit because he'd be doing all the moves. But I think I've just written a Eurovision song.
There's other points to it, right? Is because like my next point was like, at least with the performances, because we're at the semi-final stage at the moment. I don't really know.
Are we?
I don't know.
I don't know, man. It's like Wimbledon.
Yeah,
everyone's like, "You watching the final?" I'm like, "What?"
I don't know how the Eurovision Song Contest works, right? But yeah, apparently there's like the semi-finals at the moment, right? And there's a bunch of people who have commented on videos that I've watched, right? Because I was like, is anyone else talking about like my first thoughts? And it's like, yeah, there's lots of people that are saying the same thing, right? And one of it is that like, at the very least, you can tell that these performances are actually live, right?
Right, okay.
And that's because they're awful.
yeah. That's good.
They're awful, right? No one can sing live on stage in that competition. It's bizarre. The other thing is that like there's lots of people defending it, like because lots of people I guess are into the Eurovision Song Contest. I don't get it. It's crazy. But there's people defending it, being like, "We do know that this is essentially like a rehearsal," and I'm like, "I'm sorry, right? It's called the semi-finals, right?
Yeah.
It's being played on stage in front of like thousands of people.
Yeah.
Right." That doesn't look like any bloody rehearsal I've ever been part of.
No.
A rehearsal?
So, question. What does that mean, the semi-finals? Like, do people get knocked out?
I don't know, honestly.
I'll throw it back to football balance quickly, right? I had a semi-final last night for the playoffs to get out of Vanarama National North.
Yeah.
I lost the semi-final meaning I'm not in the final, right? That wasn't a rehearsal.
Yeah, but
we
the thing
lost.
is, I don't know what happens. I don't know what the structure is. I don't know. All I can tell you is that they're like, they're so bad. The performance. You have to listen to some of the songs. They're just crazy.
I might.
And yeah, I think we've got maybe one of the worst ones. I'm not sure. I've not listened to all of them. But at least some of the other ones, they're bad, but at least they've got, I don't know, some energy or there's something happening. Because this is the other thing with the Eurovision Song Contest. I feel like if you're there watching it live, it has to be the most miserable experience.
It's a rough
ever.
gig.
Right, because when you watch it on a TV, you got all this stuff happening, right? But it's all real close up personal stuff. Yeah. Have you seen videos of people that are like sat just in a normal sitting like
seat
position? Like, I don't know why I've just lost the area, right?
Regular sitting position.
They're sat watching it live and filming it on their phone, and it's miserable because it's like you can't see, or you're listening to like bad music performed pretty rough, right? Yeah. And I don't know how much you can say like sports because they're doing physical whatever, and I call bullshit on that because like Michael Jackson got away with it, and he was like fucking all over the gaff on stage, and there's so many more like examples, whatever, right? And also I can forgive like a little bit of like bad breath control if people are performing and they're doing it and they're like running around stage. I'll forgive that, but I'm on about just basics.
Yeah,
pitch control,
singing key.
yeah. So yeah, I don't call that, but it has to be miserable because you're not even getting the experience. You're just seeing from a distance like a light and then some small figures moving around. Who the hell is going to be like? I don't understand people that are watching it, but I definitely don't understand people that go. And then I didn't realize as well. Apparently, like Ukraine are actually hosting it this year.
They won last year.
Yeah, which is that because that was a controversy as well, and they won because.
Well, it's just Yeah, it's just what it is.
They won because of sympathy.
Everyone votes. Yeah.
Like I'm not being mean, but
no, everyone knows that. I think that's a very well known.
It's like a well known thing, isn't it?
I don't think their entry was great. They won it, and it was like, what a surprise.
Not that I care, but then because then people are upset that we're hosting it this year on behalf of Ukraine.
Yeah, we did come runners up. I think Sam Ryder was the best, and it goes back to what you were saying. Sam Ryder was a musician who wrote that song before. It was just a song. It was just they were like, "This is a good song. This is our song." Instead of it being like, "Let's make a song," and it's what you're talking about.
What happened with May Muller? They were like, "We need a song," and then she's gone, "I wrote a song."
We love it.
What's it called?
I wrote a song.
It's called "I Wrote a Song."
No, but it's about context, right? Like we've spoken about like Coldplay, for example. When Coldplay come up with their like their show, they have the music, and the music is good, and they're great at that. Then they have a team of people around them that create a show, and what they do is they go, okay, someone is going to be sat in that row double Z of Wembley. How do we make sure they have a show? Yeah. And it's like the lights on the crowds, everything's bigger, Chris Martin runs around. Whereas Eurovision is for the TV show. It's for all of the people tuning in around the world. So what you're watching there is like a studio production. You're watching a filming of something, which is people interacting. The same happens at the Super Bowl. I always think this with the Super Bowl. You watch, I remember The Weeknd, for example. When they did the Super Bowl a few years ago, it was all like, almost all of the performance happened like not on the pitch. Yeah. So everyone that was there with their hot dogs and their beers were like, he's not here.
I've always wondered about that, right? Because I'm assuming, I don't know what the split is, because I know the same bullshit happens here with like Wembley finals and stuff. But I don't know what the split is with like corporate tickets to actual tickets that fans have bought, right? Yeah. But I'm assuming, right, the majority of the crowd that are in the stadium, right, in the Super Bowl halftime show, don't give a shit.
I don't know.
Are you like really?
I think it's quite a big thing.
You think like the majority of the fans, right, without doing any research, are probably majority like middle-aged men, right? Probably like the spread is probably like majority like 20 to 40, right?
Right.
Men. That's probably the majority of the audience.
Probably, yeah.
You think when like, I don't know, whatever generic pop star comes on, they're like they care about it.
Oh no, not that bit. But I'm just saying the Super Bowl in general.
No, that's the Super Bowl halftime show specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying. Do you think the majority of the crowd that in the stadium,
no one cares about that.
You've
I'm with you. Nobody cares.
No one gives a shit that is actually in the stadium, that has paid a ticket to go there. No one in that stadium, apart from maybe the small section of like commercial seats that get sold, and maybe not even then, like corporate seats. Does anyone care about that in the Super Bowl?
Here's the thing. I'll say this.
If I'm watching like a cup final, right? Let's say Charlton, right, get to the playoff finals.
Yeah.
Right. Can you imagine? There's a tense like 1-1. It's 1-1. Half time. It's been a great game. Can you imagine? You then interrupt that match, that momentum, that amazing experience you're having watching your team in the final of the competition. And then you have to sit through Beyonce singing for 15 minutes. It's just not the time or the place. It's so bizarre. I do not understand.
What I would say is, right, say Charlton. It's Charlton, playoff final to get into the Prem, right? It's the biggest game that's happened ever, right, for Charlton. Let's say that. Let's put that as a scenario. I've watched the game. I'm having some beers. I'm having a great time. Half time, you're playing. Right, because you're now big, you've made it, and you're going and you're playing a song.
I just want to say for the record, I will never ever do that.
I want to say for the record, I would not for Charlton because I'll be watching the game. But
never ever do that.
But you come on, right, and you're going to play some music, right? You're really famous, so it makes sense in this little hypothetical scenario. If I need a piss, I'm going for a piss and I'm getting another drink. Do you know what I mean? I'll come back to my seats and maybe I'll see some of it, but I don't care at all. And then you'd be like, "Do you see me?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, really good, mate." But I'll just be there for the game. So and then people at Super Bowl pay like thousands and thousands of dollars for their tickets because they say it's like the biggest sporting event, even though there's like European football teams.
It's not even close. To
European football teams, week 12 of their season will sell more tickets.
Champions League quarterfinals get more views than like Super Bowl and stuff like that.
It's an American thing.
Oh yeah, but it's like, Americans don't think anything exists outside of America.
See, last weekend, and we're into a new weekend, so it's old news. And I let's not get into this. I'll just drop it and we'll run. We'll put it down and then we'll walk away from it. They had 11 mass shootings last weekend. 11.
Yeah, I saw something
it's
crazy.
It's cool, isn't it?
Like 192 or something for the year so far.
Yeah. They're high. It's pretty cool. Oh. Landed a free. Greatest country in the world. It's mental. It's mental. I'm sorry. And here's the thing. I don't know if we're gonna play any. I don't know if the submissions this week are American. I know a couple of them aren't, and then we'll spin the wheel and see. If you are American and you're listening, love your sports.
We don't hate you. You're just from a crazy place.
It's mental.
Dude.
And then I keep seeing the comments as well. Where it's like, well, if you add more gun control, it just means that the criminals have the guns. It's like, fucking get rid of your guns, right? There are people sending their kids to school and every single day have to worry. Do you know what I mean? Like you have a nice day at school. Remember all of the drills. Like, it's insane. It's mental.
I don't understand at this stage, unless you physically can't afford to. I don't understand anyone that isn't immediately homeschooling their children. And it's not just for
in
gun...
America,
in America.
Yeah.
And it's not just for gun control reasons. It's for a whole load of other reasons.
But there's a lot of agendas being pushed on kids. Oh my God,
get your kids out of schools in America. I don't understand.
100%.
I sympathise with people in America, honestly. Like, what a crazy place to live.
I see...
I very rarely am I grateful that I live in the UK, right? And not that I hate the UK. I just mean, like, it is what it is. Like, I have no strong feeling one way or the other. Oh, I'm so happy I was born in the UK. Can you imagine being born in America?
Yeah, people like to hate on the UK, right?
Or just Europe in general. Europe in general.
Yeah, but in the UK specifically now, it's really trendy to be like, the UK is the worst place in the world. I'm like, it's not.
That is a thing, actually. That is a thing.
Max was ill like a few months ago, right? We called the number. An ambulance came out and so quickly.
Just to be transparent, a lot of problems with the NHS.
Yeah, 100%. A
lot of problems.
They even said on the phone, and basically, so we're talking about my 1.5-year-old son was having trouble breathing, right? So like his chest was collapsing when he's breathing. It's very common for babies because their pipes are all small. But it can be really, really serious. When they were like, okay, it is serious, we're gonna get an ambulance out. they even warned. They were like, the service is swamped. It goes through priority, so it depends on what they view as priority.
Baby not breathing.
Baby not breathing. It turns out, credit to them, priority because she was like, it may be a while, right? It may be a while. It wasn't. It was like, I was like, okay, thank you, hung up, and then the ambulance was here. It was really, really quick. But again, I would have had to make the decision then of what we do. Like, do we go to the hospital? I wouldn't have called out an ambulance in America because it would have cost me thousands and thousands of dollars.
Well, the thing is, I think the problem is that you don't. I think like most people in America don't choose, right? If their baby's not breathing, they're just phoning an ambulance. The problem is you should never ever be in a situation where, okay, thank God your baby's now safe. Here's the bill.
Yeah,
20 grand.
You're like, what? So we can't cover that. It's like, we don't care. We do not care. Yeah.
And then it's like, even if you've got medical insurance, like,
it covers a small amount.
Like, it's like, I don't understand. Because I always thought in America, it's like, you just get medical insurance, surely. And then it's like, no. Because you're not paying, because obviously we pay our taxes, right? And we do.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
We pay our taxes, right?
Yeah.
And a big chunk of that goes into supporting the services. Right.
Yeah.
That's how we get free healthcare. That's what pays the police, pays the fire brigade, pays the ambulance service and the NHS. Right. And in return, we can use those services.
We've got subscription.
If our house is on fire, we just phone fire brigade and they put out a fire. If I'm having a heart attack, I phone an ambulance. They come and save me.
Yeah.
Right. I thought in America it was like, okay, well, you're saving money on taxes surely because you're not paying. That's not going into the system, right? So then you substitute it by getting medical insurance. But then that's not even the case.
No.
Because it's like that, because those services are still funded by the government, right? So
are they?
I think, I'm sure they're government funded.
Are they? I don't know. They
have to be, because
I don't know.
Even their Coast Guard service are funded by the government.
Well, no, the Coast Guard service is military.
It's a branch of the military. Yeah, that's true. But I'm sure they must be funded by government, surely.
I don't know. I think it's quite common for it to be private medical. I don't know.
Like,
I thought it was private
my point
medical.
is one way or another. Surely, like it's like
I'm almost sure
the money you're saving by not paying for those taxes. Then surely you just subtract it by paying medical insurance. And I thought that was
how it works.
Okay, that's fine. It's not as good, but it's fine. But then it's like it doesn't even cover everything, even if that is the case.
And what I see, and again, this is coming from a place of ignorance, so might be wrong, but what I see is the main benefit is that your insurance a lot of the time will negotiate the cost of things. So they'll be like, okay, look, we understand.
That's
it's 90K.
It's even crazier.
Yeah.
Because the hospital are like scammers.
Yeah. It's like a market.
I like, how much for that X-ray? Oh, £2,000.
Like, way off, by the way. I bet like £8,000, right? And then you're like, what? 2, and they're like, $7,000.
Like, what are we talking about?
$5,000.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's crazy.
You are a glorified third world country. Basically, I don't know. It's mental because I personally, because of ice hockey and like, I feel a link to America in a way.
For sure.
And
I even catch myself sometimes saying Americanisms just because I'm surrounded by so much American culture.
And a part of me would genuinely go over there and live there. And then the other part of me is smart.
Hell no.
The other part of me is smart and goes,
no.
You know, if
we'll visit occasionally.
Yeah. And even then.
and the weird thing is as well, right, is like, I don't know if we've talked about this on podcasts, but we've walked around New York City at 2:00 in the morning, right? We've walked around sketchy parts of Philadelphia.
Yeah,
right?
Really sketchy parts, yeah.
I've nothing but niceness. I've never
surrounded by great people.
Time, even though we were putting ourselves in sketchy places at sketchy times of the night, never ever had any weird stuff or bad stuff or sketchy
we
stuff
had
happen.
Weird stuff
weird stuff
on the subway.
America's full of weird stuff. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But there was no negative, hostile. We weren't in danger at any point. I also then don't want to be like, I'm not endorsing people to just walk around New York City at 2:00 in the morning because I'm sure it's not a good idea.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying it's weird because I've not experienced any negative.
But then here's the thing: if someone stopped us, right, in America and went, "Give me all your money," right? Mm-hmm. We probably would have given them the money because there is absolutely a chance they could just shoot us, right?
100%.
So whereas here, if someone went, "Give me your money," you could
I'll put up a fight.
You could do an ocular pat down and assess the situation and be like, right, like if it's one of the usual little, scrackers that go around, I'll take you.
Yeah,
I'll beat the life out of you. But then that's the difference. And then this is what Americans don't get is all of the countries that have had problems with guns, which include the UK, very locally to here. There's a place called Hungerford. That was the last place that had a mass shooting in like 1992. Because what happened? We took away all the guns. No one has guns. And then the point, which is like, we need the guns for our freedom. It's like, well, what you're saying is, back in the day when you had muskets, right, you had guns and the government had guns. But the thing is, you both had muskets. So if they came for you, you could be like, no, we're going to stand for ourselves and you can fight them with muskets, right? I know America has a lot of guns, but if they want to fight their government, they're going to lose.
Yeah, government's got stealth bombers, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's like that argument doesn't work. So the whole like we have a right and these documents that were made ages ago, like the Bible says that if people wear two different types of materials, they should be stoned to death, right? Pretty old book.
That's why they wear cloaks.
That's the whole thing. Yeah.
Oh,
and like there's a lot of other things. I went for that one.
I've never
for
read the Bible.
Safety. I think it was just women actually.
I've only read the forced bits that you have to do in school.
Yeah.
And I can't remember any of them. Something about loving your neighbour.
Yeah, but not up
have
the bum.
affairs with your neighbours.
Well, no, I don't think so.
No.
Get stoned though first.
No, only if it's a male neighbour.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know. I assumed it was. Anyway, I guess that's our bit about America. Did we fix it? We didn't. Should we fix America?
This is like an It's Always Sunny episode.
Yes. The boys fix America. Let's make America safe again. Pop that on a red
Has it
cap.
ever been safe?
When was it last safe? I do like that video of like, I think we said before, of the people that they'll be at like a Trump rally and they're like, when was America great again? And then they'll say something. They'll be like
the 1950s.
Yeah. So like segregation. It's like, well, not that.
Might have been good for you.
Yeah. Those were sweet times. That's crazy. It's not an attack, right? Again, we have love and respect for people in America.
We've also got we're from the United Kingdom. There's plenty we could go in about our country.
True.
It's not great, is it?
No. Again, though, Americans love to bring up knife crime. Their knife crime's worse than ours as well, per capita.
We've got some pretty ropey protest laws.
At the moment, that's the big issue I see.
Pretty scared. We've got laws, right, that if you just started describing a law, right, and then you didn't tell anyone what country it was from, but you were just being like,
they'd be like North Korea.
You'd just be like, how about this for a law, right? This is a law that's just been introduced somewhere, right? And you're talking about like it's now illegal to protest unless the government will find your protest to be worthy, essentially. Mm-hmm. So the government can just be like, oh, what are you protesting? We don't want you protesting about that. So it's now illegal. You're going to get arrested if you protest. Right? Yeah. You would be like probably China, North Korea. No, that's good old United Kingdom. There's
a court case. This won't be massively publicized, but there's a court case happening at the moment from a lawyer who is suing the UK government because of their policing of what's just happened, Jubilee.
Oh yeah, but the like anti-royalists, I suppose. Is that what you'd call them?
Yeah,
not liking people.
Mm-hmm. Because I mean, I think we covered it last week, right?
Well,
the royal family have a lot of issues.
Yeah.
Royal family have a lot of issues that some people don't like. Some of it is also just the fact that I think people don't like living in a country where there is poverty. People are going through the hardest time there is, and then we're all supposed to celebrate a man who
spending millions.
Yeah, well, and his net worth is like 1.6 billion or something, and we're supposed to be like, yeah, this is great.
But then also our response to that is like, I don't know if like one of the most idiotic things we've ever seen, right, was during the Queen's like death or funeral, whatever, mourning period, was when thousands upon thousands of people were like going to the like what I don't know what park it is, right, and leaving marmalade sandwiches, right, in honor of the Queen because she did an advert with the Paddington Bear ones. Right. So just round the corner, right, you've got the biggest like epidemic, right, of people not having enough food.
Sure. Right? Yeah.
Like you've got families that are surviving, just surviving purely on food banks, right? Because all of their money is going into keeping the lights on or keeping the heating on or whatever. So they're relying on food banks. You've got like shortages everywhere. The biggest like food shortage of our time in history, but like since the war, essentially, right? And meanwhile, you've got people that are
feeding squirrels, basically,
literally throwing marmalade sandwiches into a park.
Yeah.
To the point where the police literally had to put a notice up saying, we're like, please do not do this anymore, because there were like sandwiches going moldy everywhere, like attracting vermin or whatever. And I'm like that, but this is where it gets into, like, you know, it's not just the monarchy, it's the people that like incorporate the monarchy with every fiber of that. I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
And I'm saying you don't have to, I'm saying there's a line to everything. You don't have to be like hate. You don't have to hate the monarchy. You don't have to like.
Yeah.
You don't have to stand there with a sign that says "Not my king." But at the same time, let's be realistic. The monarchy is so outdated.
Yeah.
It's so, and I'm not saying we should get rid of it.
No, I am.
But we should definitely at least something needs to happen. And yeah, I'm in the same camp as you. But what I'm saying is that you don't have to be. You don't have to be. Let's get rid of the monarchy. But at the very least, surely you can look at it for what it is and go, this is incredibly outdated.
Yeah.
There are far more important things, especially after the last 3 years, that we need to be trying to sort out, rather than keeping these people like in the most powerful position.
There are countries that have their royal families have continued, and they're not the same as us. They'll be like, here's the king, and it's a guy in like a black suit, and it'll be like, hello guys, how you all doing? And it's a bit different. What needs to happen is all of their real estate should be taken from them. Right, all of their real estate should be taken from them, open to the public, make it museums or whatever. Fine. Right, because this is the other point as well. People are just brainwashed, and they're like, "Oh, but the royal family make billions for they don't make any money." Right, this study's been done 100 times now that the royal family don't make money. They don't generate income for us. They are a cost. There's a budget in our government spending which include the royal family of just billions of pounds. So they don't make money. What happens is tourism happens, and they attribute that to the royal family.
Well, because people
go to Buckingham Palace.
London just because of the monarch.
And here's the thing: if you get rid of the monarchy, the people that come to London from China and New York and Australia, wherever, will still go to Buckingham Palace. They still will.
Yeah.
They may go to Windsor, whatever. So I think it's about time. It should be changed. It could either be changed, as I said, and all of those places aren't now the place where they go and drink tea 12 times a day and do what they want, right? Instead, they could still be a public figure, whatever, and all the people that have them on cushions in their house can go and clap them or whatever they want to do. But maybe it's like, right, okay, you're running around, you're costing billions for the country, you're diddling
people,
kids,
you're arresting people protesting.
Yeah. I'm not into it. I think we probably should move on. But anyway,
let's move on.
let's move on from the monarchy and from this section.
Hey, at least we didn't go on a big rant about Formula 1.
No, I bet people wish we did. Right, should we listen to some music?
If most of our people are like outside of the UK, then they're probably on board.
People
hate the United Kingdom.
People outside of the UK may hate the UK.
No,
they love the royal family.
Yeah, that is true.
Because the media don't spread all of the pedophilia that happens and all of that good stuff. Covering up all of the other famous people that they've watched.
And all the charity work and the philanthropy.
Full on. Right. Let's listen to some music, B. So our first band, all the way from Auckland.
Australia. New Zealand. I self-corrected.
Well, you said Australia in an accent, so now I want you to say New Zealand in a New Zealand accent.
New Zealand. I can't do New Zealand. I can do Australian and I can do South African. I've never been able to do New Zealand.
I would argue you've never been able to do any of what you just said.
Oh, no, South Africa.
Yeah, that's fine. That's all right. Flightless Aspidistra.
I can also only just say that...
South Africa? Is it?
I got the right flight the other day, huh?
Yeah.
I got hit by a car.
Right. Flightless Aspidistra.
What's an Aspidistra?
I don't know.
Why is it flightless? Like, is Aspidistra like an animal? Is it a bird?
It's a plant.
Well, of course it's flightless. It's a plant.
It's a plant. Yeah.
Okay.
Aspidistra.
Aspidistra. That's so weird.
Flowering plant.
I'm gonna go techno.
Flightless Aspidistra. When does it fly? I'm confused by the name. I'd love to know what the name is. Okay, you're going techno. Flightless Aspidistra. I've got nothing. I probably would have gone the same. I always say indie band is my problem. I'm gonna go metal. It's a bad shout. They're going from 140. This is Flightless Aspidistra. Caffeine overdose. I let it go a bit long because I wanted to hear where that was going.
I like it. Do you know what I love about it? Right, it's not like a lot of techno, right, where it's just a continuous thing.
Yeah.
So many breaks, dynamic changes in there. It was really good stylistic choices, kind of muffled radio kind of sound to it in places. Love it.
It was really good.
Great.
I've said before.
Video game music.
It is video game music. Do you know what I thought of immediately? I'm sure I thought you would say the same. I felt like I was watching a promo for an update for Rocket League or something.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Cars flying around.
Maybe. I was thinking like back in the day, like Wipeout or something.
Yeah, definitely. It's really good though. Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head that with electro music, I always think of, because I don't listen to loads of electro music. I don't listen to any, really.
But I feel like one of my main complaints sometimes is it's just a monotonous.
Well, this is what I was saying though.
That just goes on and on and on.
I go back to being at music college, right? And when they're teaching you how to use Logic, when they're teaching you how to use the software, this is the sort of stuff you do. And what you do is you're like, here's the drums, and you do it, and it's just looped, and then you add little bits instead of it being this entire, and that's the difference, right? This isn't someone who's just learning how to use the software. This is someone who's mastered it. But yeah, it's really good. When we talk about dynamic, it's really tough when you're doing like an instrumental electronic piece to make sure the dynamic is really varied and keeps
I think
your interest.
it's so easy to just keep it as it is. Do you know what I mean? And just keep it on that one level for the whole song. But that was great, real mixing
to the point where we play 30 seconds on here, just because of the format of our show and for YouTube reasons. Mm-hmm. But I let it go a bit long because it was in a part where I was like, I really want to hear how this comes out of, and then you know what I mean? I wanted to hear the end of that section. So that's wicked. Flightless Aspidistra. It's not the easiest.
And now I want your New Zealand accent.
Do you know what I was thinking then? Because where's the car?
Yeah, all I'm thinking about is Flight of the Conchords, right? I love that show. I've watched it a lot of times, and I still can't do a New Zealand accent.
There was Flightless Aspidistra.
It's not bad because I think when I do it, it's just a mix of Australian and South African. Arguably, is that what a New Zealand accent is?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Amazing submission, though. Thank you for that, Flightless Aspidistra. It's fun to say, but it is lengthy. I had to really read Aspidistra because don't know much about plants.
And I've learned a plant name.
I've learned what a plant is.
I don't know a lot of plants.
I don't know
but
many.
Now I know a banger. Aspidistra.
When someone's like, oh, what's your favourite plant? And you go, I don't know, I do like an Aspidistra. And they're like, this guy knows plants. I'm like, no, I know Aspidistras. Do you know what I know about Aspidistras?
What?
Don't fly.
But they are flightless.
Well, or maybe they do. I don't know. Our next submission, we're actually going to... I'm just... I just brought up a dumb Google search, but it was... I'll bring it back up. It was it was just 140, and it was showing me clocks to tell you what 140 is, but it's because I've just been
learning the time.
Yeah. I've got a load of watches I don't wear because I just look at them and
I'm 20. I'm 27.
8.
I'm 28 now. It's time to learn. It's time to learn the time.
No, it's just a method to put on the tab what time they wanted us to play it from, because it gets really messy. And I was like, if I just Google it and then I could have a tab. That's what that was. Interesting stuff. Our next band is from Brighton.
Ooh, just down the road.
Well, everything's just down the road in the UK.
No, because if you're like north, then you're up.
Yeah, and when you're up, you're up. Grand Old Duke of York. So we're going to listen to Tidal. Oh, I've messed this up. Tidal Rave.
Tidal Rave.
Tidal Rave.
But it's got rave in there.
It's gotta be electro, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a bad name if it's not electro.
It's going to be similar to what we've just listened to, but I feel like maybe because you got the word tidal in there.
I'm gonna go dubstep instead. Do you know when it's like some big like?
Maybe. Yeah.
That's what I would do here.
No, I'm just gonna go hardcore like house.
I'm starting from 114, but I have to play it, so it's on Spotify, right there. A little spoiler, but here is Transcendence by Tidal Rave.
Universe assist me, lady luck might kiss me. Yo, I wanna trigger shivers, make your hair stand up on end. Whoa, we're in a soulful blizzard. Ice cold is a killer trend. Then you move to keep more man survive. We are marooned on a melody paradise. Wake up and get lost in the moment. Explore transcendence, be perfectly imperfect.
Interesting.
I really like it.
That was stanky.
I really like it. It's very well. Do you know what's the problem? It made me think of a band I used to listen to back in the day, but they weren't very big, so I don't think people knew them. But yeah, that was awesome. It was really cool. Do you know what it was? Is because I heard Tidal Rave, and I'll say I don't know how I feel about the name now.
Tidal Rave.
But we've always said a name is only as good as the project, right? So if they
I
get
like it
because
it's like someone that's got like speech impediment and they can't
say wave.
Yeah.
Could
it's like
be.
Jonathan Ross saying tidal wave.
Yeah. No, Tidal Wave would be him introducing this band.
Tidal Wave. Whatever. But it's
good
because I feel like it's hard to say tidal rave. Right?
Tidal Rave because your brain,
wave. But then I think that's probably what's good about the name.
They've got
because it's almost a normal word, which makes you sort of remember it.
Their Tidal Rave, Space Pirates for Life, I think is the album, which has got this little cover here, which is pretty cool. Their little Tidal Rave logo. It's really good. What I like about it is we kind of Tidal Rave made me think it was dubstep electronic, and what it actually is like pop, like indie pop, but electronic indie pop, which I was really into. The harmonies and the construct of the notes was really good. It sounded like an anime theme song at some parts. It was awesome. So I just realized I need to put that on the playlist, but I also need to so that's now on the playlist. So check that out in length. And then I'll see if I can find the other submission we had. But they sent it on SoundCloud, and they didn't have social media for us to view. Oh. So I'm a little bit worried that I won't be able to put it on. But yeah, it's a couple great submissions.
Good stuff. Yeah, I'm a fan of that.
Should we spin the wheel?
Spin the wheel.
And yeah, we'll take it from there. So let me just okay. I might have to reach out to Flightless Aspidistra and see if they have anything for us to put on the Spotify playlist. Let's spin the wheel.
Wheel of Fortune.
I just called this one Wheel.
Wheel. Ted.
That says Ted.
It's just Ted.
That just says Ted. What do you think Ted's going to be?
I mean, not a lot to go on there. Ted is just a guy called Ted. What's that, man?
They're from Bendigo.
Is that a real place?
In Australia.
Oh,
good time, mate.
Oh, here's it going. Here's it going. Oh, bloody struth, mate.
So, Ted, any guesses?
Well, I think it's going to... I don't know, mate. Is this our first Australian?
I don't think so. But it might be.
I mean, it's hard not to just say there's going to be a didgeridoo in it.
It's easy not to say that. It's so easy not to say that. Do you think
how funny though? How funny if immediately there's a didgeridoo.
Oh yeah, that would be good stuff. I think it's from the beginning we're doing here as well. which is nice and easy. So I'll just hit it.
I think
Do you have
I'm
any
going
guess?
to
Have a guess,
go.
Ted.
I'm going to go. It's hard not to say techno again because I'm pretty sure like techno is big, isn't it, in Australia? Kind of more house music.
I don't know.
Thing,
I've just wait. I didn't look. I've just got their Instagram up, but I didn't look at it. So
Australia always strikes me, in my limited knowledge of Australia, which it's almost exclusively comes from Bondi Rescue and Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah.
I don't know. It kind of always strikes me. Well, not the Crocodile Dundee, but it strikes me as kind of a bit more of a techno.
I'm gonna say my guess for genre is I was gonna say indie rock. Ted, indie rock, little band. Maybe like it's because it's produced by one person and he goes by Ted. I don't know. But we're going from the top. I didn't have a timestamp, so here is 30 seconds of Ted.
Majesty of Robespierre and the 500 Swiss men, and I saw Danton beheaded by the common man.
I went a bit over because I think the start had a couple seconds of quiet.
It did, but it sounded good.
It's interesting, but I want to know where it goes.
Yeah, because in my head, in my head, there's so many things that I'm like, I hope it has this. I hope it has some like harmonies with there somewhere. I even hope maybe an electric guitar comes in with like some slow ballad kind of like. I don't know, but it sounded great.
Here's what
Completely unexpected.
Here's what I'll say. There's where I think it will go, and there's where it would be cool if it went. I think it will go that it will get bigger dynamically. Like I think whether it's some percussion, whether it's something on the back, but it actually for me, I think of like a band. I'm trying to think of an example of a god like Biffy Clyro. Someone like that would have something like this, a real spacey, and then it would kick into something a lot bigger. I don't think this is going to do that.
I don't think
but
so.
I wish it would. It sounds like a really good intro.
I'll
I
definitely
will
check
jump
it
this
out.
though. I'm going to jump it.
Oh,
I
yeah?
think I'm just going to do a little. I'll do one of these. Play. See, some extra layers get added in. It sounds very
a
interesting.
bit more of a like a ballad kind of feel.
that
at the end there,
reverby
yeah.
guitar. Sounds really good though. It's very
That's kind of
interesting.
where I wanted it to go. Yeah, no, it's great. And
I think it's quite lyric
I
heavy.
say it all the time as well, but again, it easily could be inserted into like a drama TV show, like OC or something.
Or One Tree Hill. I'm watching so much One Tree Hill. at the
Really?
moment. I'm so much.
I just
One
feel
Tree
like if
Hill.
I ever watched One Tree Hill, I feel like I'm cheating on the OC.
It's and this
Because
is
that was like my childhood show that I watched.
I'm just going to quickly say, thank you for the submission, Ted.
Ted
Sounds
was
good.
great.
Because
Great.
we'll no,
There's a little bit. It's lacking didgeridoos.
that is true.
So that's my one criticism.
Or yeah, I don't know. What's that sound that happens
platypus?
in isn't it like a
no. That's just Mick Dundee. He just goes.
I don't know if he makes a sound though. I thought they added a sound.
I'm pretty sure he just goes.
Yeah. So thank you, Mick.
Yeah, you're now Mick. Unfortunately, your name is Mick.
It's cool. It would be really interesting to hear more songs to hear, because this could be like the song on the album, which is a lot different as well. Do you know what I mean? Like if we were writing an album, there's always one song that would break away. It could be that, and that they're really proud of it.
The song that you can never play live.
Yeah, that's true. We never.
So you're like, we love this song, but it absolutely bombs.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Because it's the same with Kings of Leon, right? They have really upbeat, dancey, energetic music, and then they have a couple that are like Tally in the Sky, and he's much more stripped back. And
yeah,
but
but
you're a little band,
yeah, but when you're big, people love that and they freak out. When you're just an up and coming band, you can never play your like
little acoustic
your
track.
B-side stuff or
yeah, it's a shame. But we've got a good set list now. No, One Tree Hill. I'm watching a lot of One Tree Hill. Here's the thing about One Tree Hill. It's the same brand of show, right? It's a US teen drama, so you have to treat it as such. The acting might not be great.
Hey, I'll have you know.
Some of the acting in the OC isn't great.
Yeah, but some of it is great.
Some of it is good. And that's kind of where we're at, right? Like there was just a scene last night we were watching, and we're like season 4. So we just finished season 4, season 5. We've been binging the life out of it. But there was a scene that was like a hard to act scene. And one of the actors in it, who is one of the grown-ups, was phenomenal. It was like this real emotional. And then the reaction from the kid, like the 18-year-old, was so bad that it was like, okay. So you kind of have to break away from that. But the show has been really good so far. I think what's interesting is it goes from being like a teen drama. Like, I think the characters grow up through it. So, like, it goes from high school. The first 4 seasons are in high school and them graduating. And then afterwards, do you know what I mean? They're like, then it's them doing their jobs and things like that. So I'm interested to see where it goes. But it's a good
like
show.
Life.
It's like life. Yeah, but if you think of the OC, that doesn't happen in the OC.
Yeah, they grow up. Yeah, they go from high school to upper high school. I don't know the American school system. It baffles me.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the OCs are in a like most of these shows are in a smaller.
Because high school, because this has always freaked me out, right? And I learnt this young. No, I learnt this old, right? But because I always used to freak out because they were like, "Oh, yeah, dude, you're dating a high school chick," and it's like a 25-year-old.
So I think 17 or 18.
But that's
it's
I
high
think
school.
you can be in high school. You can be like 18 and older.
Yep.
Because it always freaked me out because I was like, why in every American TV show are they like normalizing pedophilia?
Yeah, which I don't think they are. No, it is confusing because they have high school, college, uni is different, whereas for us, uni is college, I think.
I think
in America, you go to college.
I think high school is like university for us.
No.
No?
No, high school is like, I think is like, well, here's the other problem is that we were in a weird part of the UK.
This is
a different system. So
on the Isle of, even people
in the mainland,
the UK probably don't know what we're talking about.
In the mainland, they only had 2 tiers.
Just to let you know what we say when we say mainland is when you live on the Isle of Wight, which is a small island on the, below the south coast between France and the UK in the Solent. If you're born on that island or you live on that island, you refer to the rest of the United Kingdom, the main big island that everyone else lives on, that the country lives on, that Parliament is on, as the mainland.
Which is funny. That happens in other places, right? You can be in,
but
usually it's island places.
To islanders, and then people on the mainland are like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. No, what I'm saying though is in other countries, there'll be like mainland place, right, and that'll be the main land of the place. But it is funny that the island is tiny, so the Isle of Wight is tiny, and then it's like the country is the mainland to us. And it's what used to happen as kids is you'd be on like a trip somewhere and you'd be like, it's fun to come over to the mainland, and then the people that live where you're at are like,
they like think you're part of like a cult.
The mainland. I cannot remember what my point was now. No, but normally in the UK it's 2 tiers, right? So you have primary school, which is up to year 6, and obviously grades. So I don't know how this compares.
It's like, what does year 6
you got to convert the units and all of that, and then it's 6 to 10.
Yeah, because you had secondary school.
Is secondary school. So I think high school is more secondary school, up till about 18, I think, and then after 18 is college. I think universities exist as well. I don't know what they're about.
It always used to freak me out in like American TV shows where I feel like every single kid who's in high school or whatever drove.
Like, well, they drive at 16, I think.
Yeah, we can drive at 16.
No, no, 17.
You can. Oh, maybe it is 17.
People can do like the on private land lessons.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, OC is all right. Actually, I know a couple people that were on... No, One Tree Hill. I was about to say I know a couple people on the OC. I don't. I know a couple people that were on One Tree Hill. Maybe they'll be a guest. Let's get them on.
Who the bloody hell did you know it was on One Tree Hill? I mean, don't say their name maybe, but...
Well...
It was weird.
I won't say their name because we could genuinely get them as a guest, I think. But that could be cool.
What bloody talking about?
One Tree Hill.
The weirdest niche ever to a podcast.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
One Tree Hill has a big old following as well as a very like cult following like the OC. Anyway, anything else? I got nothing.
I feel like we've exhausted everything that's happened this week and nothing's happened.
There's something I was going to speak about last week and I forgot, And I was like, I remember that for next week. And I can't remember it.
Sweet.
So that's cool, isn't it?
Cool.
I've booked a load more like care homes gigs.
Oh, yeah.
But then I've realised I've been booking them and they're all really close to actual gigs that we have lined up. So I need to be a bit more careful because I've just been like a bit willy-nilly, a bit William Nelson with it. Just booking them in. Anything you want to add? IndianaShow.com if you got this far. T-shirts and mugs. Which is my T-shirt and my mug. You cannot get Ben's T-shirt or Ben's mug that he currently is rocking.
You can get them.
Well, not from IndianaShow.com though. Is what I'm saying. Not from IndianaShow.com.
London Jets.
Code Beans for 15% off. If we sell enough T-shirts, we get some like lights and stuff, some studio lights. Paint the wall, maybe, so we don't look like we're outside. We get loads of comments of people that are confused by us being outside.
Really?
No. Okay. All right. We'll see you next week
for
more of this. Bye-bye. Ciao.